Let's go, let's go.
Good morning, men, boys, Breffney. Welcome to the final assembly of your entire lives at Christchurch. I welcome you all. Please sit. Unless you happen to be pregnant, in which case stand. And when your child is born, name it Blake Stove. But that, my dear and wonderful colleagues, is my name. Captain of school for 2008, Blake Stove. Captain of school. My speech tonight is dedicated to Mr. Wynne and all the fun times we shared together at prefect meetings. If by prefect meetings you mean candle lit dinners for two in my basement. Where we'd play Ring Around the Rosie and he told me Santa was real. My speech is entitled A Sense of Place, a place of sense, a sense of self in this place for sensing yourself. As a young child, I grew up in the cold, snowy, sub-zero and harsh environment of Mongolia, in a warm and comfortable house in the middle of summer. My family later moved to a much better and welcoming abode right across the street. Here I grew up in a world of my own, a creation of my own mind, of love and kindness where everyone was a pony and bathed in the chocolate river of butterflies underneath the tree made of rainbows and gumdrop smiles. Unfortunately, my father was an alcoholic addicted to meth, crack, amphetamine, and he beat my perfect world right out of my mind. Each night he would give me a choice, albeit a simple one. He would say, boy, you can lock in option A, the belt, option B, the wrench, option C, a good rape in the arse with no lube. Or option D, go to bed and shut your mouth. I chose option D. Turns out he was drunk at the time and lied about option D. It actually meant all of the above. My traumatic childhood ended in my father killing himself with my mother's synthetic leg, and my mother dying of starvation because she couldn't reach the shops in time. A month following, I celebrated my second birthday with my older brother, who complimented my birthday by coming out of the closet as a queer. As the doors of the brown closet opened, he presented me with a pop-up picture book version of Two Girls, One Cup. A smile of delight on his face. I could only watch in horror as the second-hand closet burst into flames and fell in slow motion upon his homosexual head, crushing his cranium in a violent spray of blood, guts and gay sunshine all over the car. Little did he know the closet had been made by blind Peruvian sex slaves, who unknowingly put the closet together with nothing but sticky tape and UV glue. Needless to say, I had mixed feelings about the whole situation. My birthday celebration continued. My younger brother seemed slightly melancholic on a day that I believed to be of happiness and life. Unfortunately, after the death of our parents, he failed to harden the fuck up. He became depressed, and so he gave me a present in the form of drowning himself in a happy birthday cake made of his own feces. It's actually not funny. After my fateful second birthday, I carried on with my life, marrying and having children of my own. Not long after, I began senior school at Christchurch Grammar School, a place of love and respect, where there was a no bullshit attitude towards things. You ate food, drank water, and shat shits. Or for Breffney, combed hair, waxed chests, rowed boats, and liked dicks. Simple. My experiences there, or indeed I should say here, in this chapel of respect and subtle sleep from Mr. Sheehan, have culminated at this peak, a final assembly service dedicated to my fellow, but not quite as brilliant as me, students. People often ask me, what is involved in being a school captain, Blake? And I say to them, who are you, and what are you doing here? As real as I am, standing here before you, as tangible as a noun described with adjectives by way of a verb, I say to you, I am captain of school. That is all. But after all we have experienced, what is it that gives us all a sense of place in this warm and non-racist community, where we don't discriminate against nigger faggots, goons, and South Africans? Perhaps it is the continued years of death by way of poisoning from canteen food. Ah, the canteen. For the times when you just want to eat a piece of solidified rooster's cock, gently sautéed in a pan of baby shit and pedophile cock juice, then lay down and die. This brings me to another possible highlight of the years, the man of the game and the man of the good times, Mr. Roger Bailey. Known as Basher to some, Mr. Bailey is an esteemed member of the community of United National Teachers, or as they are often called for short, cunt. I hope he has multiple fire extinguishers in his office for the time when the mad dog MC Claire turfs a Molotov cocktail through his office window. Codenamed Water Bomb. However, after all the jokes have been made, we can only conclude that Mr. Bailey is just doing his job as deputy head of the school. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say doing? I meant trying to do his job as deputy head of the school. Alternatively, we can decide to remove the blame of rowdy behaviour from our own shoulders and place it on the shoulders of Mr. Win, or as I like to call him, Mr. Lose. Is this thing on? It's a good thing Mr. Win doesn't have a son in this school, or that could have been offensive. Many of you may remember Venture as a highlight of the past years. However, I find talking about Venture to be the epitome of cliché. So I'm not going to talk about the great times we had walking for 10 days in a row with nothing but urinated creek water to drink and frozen canteen pack lunches to eat. Such great times. As I sat at home thinking of what to write now, and paying Andrew Sutherland to write the speech for me, I was thinking, what could be the final memory that I talk about in this assembly? And then it hit me. School is mostly one shit memory after the other. And the weekends and mates were the only things that kept me from sewing my mouth and nostrils closed and going for a swim in a pool filled with Burmese churchy eatings. I realised something. The final, most meaningful memory of my schooling experience, apart from the YouTube videos Gregor continually sent me, is the friends I made along the way, and the friends I pretended to make along the way, and the friends I am no longer friends with along the way. But in all seriousness, it was the friendships and good times that made school worth the time and energy, as well as the fact that school was the gate to a career of your personal choice. And I guess the fact that school is compulsory in Australia, that too. This brings me to the end of my speech. I wish all of you the best of the best for the years to come. If you want to be a lawyer, I hope you put a multitude of criminals behind bars. If you want to be a doctor, I wish you all the best in curing AIDS, cancer, and Reflux syndrome. If you want to be a bricklayer or a rubbish truck driver, I will employ you at a horrifically low wage to lay my bricks and take my rubbish away from me, and may occasionally drop a 5-cent coin on the ground as a tip for your hard work, then demand it back and get you to build me a house that is powered by a money-burning furnace. And if you don't know what you want to do, well, I'll visit you in rehab. I hope you all run life like an Olympic sprinter in a moderately fast automobile. For those of you who I'll never see again in my life, may you marry someone rich and die of old age. Thank you.
Before I'd like to start this, I'd like to start off with nominations for the World's Best Street Fighter Award. Nominations are MC Red Balls.